Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into something totally fascinating. The psychology behind why some people can walk straight into a crowded room and just instantly command respect. Have you ever noticed that? Some people just seem to have this magnetic gravity to them. Well, I'm thrilled to guide you through this, because that magnetism, it isn't magic. It's actually a precise set of psychological levers that anyone, including you, can learn to pull.
But first, let's talk about the flip side. Getting ignored in meetings, being constantly interrupted mid-sentence, or just generally feeling underestimated by your peers. Does that sound a little too familiar? If you're frequently hitting these frustrating social roadblocks, you should know that changing the dynamic relies purely on psychology. It's not about your looks, it's not about your wardrobe, and it is definitely not about your bank account. It is all about understanding the human mind.
We've all been sold this massive myth, right? The idea that respect is something that takes years and years of hard work to build. But the truth is actually a lot more immediate. People decide exactly how they're going to treat you within mere seconds of meeting you. We absolutely have to shatter the illusion that respect takes years, because if you don't control that initial split-second impression, you effectively lose the battle before you even speak your first word.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover the great respect myth, your silent first impression, the scarcity effect in speech, mastering the uncomfortable pause, setting unshakable boundaries, and finally, the true source of respect.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the Great Respect Myth and First Impressions. The core concept here is that human beings are fundamentally wired to make snap judgments. It's literally an evolutionary survival mechanism. Our brains are constantly running these rapid-fire threat assessments, relying on pattern recognition to figure out who has status and who doesn't, all within milliseconds. Because of this, your window to establish authority is terrifyingly short. If you walk in without a strategy, you're leaving your perceived value entirely up to chance. You quite literally lose respect before you even open your mouth if you don't actively control that first impression.
Moving on to Section 2, your silent first impression and the body language protocol.
Think about how you move through a space. There's a direct, hardwired correlation between your physical speed and your perceived status. Fast, jerky movements, they instantly scream anxiety to anyone watching. It signals that you're reacting to your environment, like you're feeling threatened or overwhelmed. Calm, deliberate movements, on the other hand, just exude confidence. Your physical pacing broadcasts your internal state to the entire room. When you slow down, you're telling everyone that you are completely comfortable in your own skin.
So, how do we actually put this into practice? The body language protocol is incredibly straightforward, but it's a total game changer. Stand straight, maintain steady eye contact, and move slowly, no nervous fidgeting. By intentionally adopting these specific physical cues, your presence loudly and clearly communicates, "I know my worth," and you do all of that without uttering a single syllable.
Let's look at Section 3, the Scarcity Effect in Speech, or How to Speak Less with Purpose.
You know the scarcity effect, right? It's that classic economic principle where something becomes super valuable simply because it's rare. Well, the trick is applying this directly to your words. When something is rare, its value skyrockets. Think about how this plays out in conversation. People who talk way too much, who constantly try to fill the airwaves, they actually end up looking insecure, like they're desperately trying to prove their worth. But those who speak less, they appear powerful. Their words become rare commodities, and therefore incredibly valuable to the listener.
To harness that power, we follow a super simple 3-step rhythm. Step 1, pause. Step 2, think. Step 3, speak. It sounds basic, I know, but instead of nervously trying to prove yourself to a group by blurting out the very first thing that pops into your head, follow this exact sequence. It guarantees that when you do finally break your silence, you're speaking with absolute, undeniable purpose.
And when you hit that third step, when you finally do speak, this is your golden rule. Be clear, be direct, and please, absolutely no over-explaining. Over-explaining is basically a subtle plea for validation. Stripping away all that excess fluff and justification is the single best way to make people lean in and truly listen to what you have to say. It shows them that you trust your own message.
That brings us to Section 4, mastering the uncomfortable pause and utilizing silence.
Let's be honest, silence is inherently uncomfortable for most of us. We have this deep, almost frantic urge to fill quiet gaps with nervous chatter. But by intentionally leaning into that discomfort, you completely flip the power dynamic. If someone interrupts you, don't rush to talk over them. Just pause and look right at them. And when you finish making your point, don't nervously fill the gap with ums or you knows. Let the silence sit there.
You're creating a psychological pressure that forces others to take you seriously and really process your words. Because here is a really profound realization. Confident people don't chase conversations, they control them. Mastering that uncomfortable pause demonstrates, both visually and audibly, that you are the one steering the ship. You aren't desperately paddling behind the conversation trying to catch up, you are setting the pace for everyone else.
Next up is Section 5, Setting Unshakable Boundaries and Establishing Your Limits.
It's a tough pill to swallow, but it is true. If you say yes to everything, people stop respecting you. People-pleasing is the absolute enemy of respect. Why? Because true authority is derived directly from the limits you enforce. If you have no limits, people subconsciously perceive you as having no intrinsic value of your own. Respect comes from knowing exactly where you end and where others begin.
Now, setting boundaries doesn't mean starting a fight or being aggressive. It's actually the exact opposite. You can deploy phrases like, "I'm not okay with that," or "I'll get back to you," or even just a simple, "not right now," with total calm. Notice what's missing there? There's absolutely zero anger and zero over-explanation. Just calm, unbothered confidence.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 6, the true source of respect and why you need to value yourself first.
Here is the ultimate paradigm shift we need to make. People don't respect you because you're nice. Sure, being nice is great, but it does not command authority. People respect you because you value yourself. That is the secret engine driving how others perceive you. The moment you respect your own time and your own boundaries, others automatically will too. Respecting your own worth is the absolute prerequisite for anyone else doing the same.
So I'm going to leave you with this final, vital question to think about. Are you ready to stop chasing approval and let respect start chasing you? The next time you walk into a crowded room, remember the psychology we unpacked today. Move calmly, speak with scarce purpose, embrace the silence, and firmly enforce your boundaries. Your worth is already established, you just have to stop hiding it. Thanks so much for exploring this with us today.